Well, a Truth in Taxation meeting set off a social media firestorm among Quincy residents this week. Quincy Mayor Linda Moore says the city's tax levy increase, which is just over 6%, will cost the average resident in a $150,000 home roughly $20 to $25. She explained the increase is largely due to rising public safety pensions, 55% of which are paid out of the levy.
Taxpayer too, and I don't like taxes going up. You know, I wish we could eliminate tax, but eliminating taxes means eliminating services. We don't want to do that either because we have high expectations. We expect cities to deliver, you know, on certain basic functions and basic services. They're putting their life on the line for every resident in the city of Quincy. In exchange for that, they have a guaranteed pension when they do retire. They've done their part. Now it's up to us to do our part.
Moore says the city is looking to make cuts across the board to cover the remaining $5 million in pensions. 2 more public readings of the levy are scheduled, with the last taking place on December 15th at City Hall.